India and Pakistan. India is expected to present fresh evidence of Pakistan's terror links before the United Nations Security Council's 1267 Sanctions Committee. This development comes after a ceasefire was declared as the two nations came to the brink of an all-out war as India avenged the Pahalgam attack by conducting Operation Sindoor, where 9 terror infrastructure deep inside Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir were targeted earlier this week. India has concrete evidence, and this time a portion of it has also been showcased to the public. For instance, take a look at this visual on your screen now. This is a picture from a funeral in Muridke, Lashkar-e-Taiba camp, where uniformed Pakistani army personnel can be seen paying tribute to terrorists. State honours have been given to terrorists in Pakistan. We have confirmation that over 100 Pakistan-shielded terrorists were neutralized via Operation Sindoor. But the big question is, will the world now take notice of this? Well, let's quickly listen into some facts and figures which have been laid out by India.
If only civilians, if any civilians were killed in these attacks, I wonder what message this picture actually sends to all of you. This is a question that is worth asking.
And those strikes across those 9 terror hubs left more than 100 terrorists killed, including high-value targets such as Yusuf Azhar, Abdul Malik Rauf, and Mudassir Ahmed that were involved in the hijack.
Aditya Vadhavan is joining us with the very latest on this story. Aditya, will India be presenting this proof of Pakistan's administration and army's connections with terrorists to the world now? Will this be shown to the UNSC Sanctions Committee?
Well, absolutely, Uday. India will present this proof of, the Pakistani military personnel, crying at the funeral of terrorists, and they have the Indian armed forces and all the agencies have collected this ample evidence, to call for sanctions against Pakistan because all these evidences will be presented to the 1267 UN Sanctions Committee, and it is very possible that there might be sanctions imposed on Pakistan because, for its duplicity, for its continued becoming a continued heaven for terrorism. In the recent past, in the past also we have seen, UN Indian representatives to UN have constantly given evidence to the United Nations about Pakistan's harboring terrorists and their terrorist camps in its soil, on its soil. But now this time it will be very problematic for Pakistan because its economy is already on the back foot, and this might also weaken the Pakistan's economy as far as this evidence is concerned. It is very likely that now, because the world has condemned this cowardly and barbaric terror attack that was done by the Pakistani terrorists in Pahalgam. So now it needs to be seen by what decisions will the UN Sanctions Committee 1267 will take in this regard. Yes, there.
All right. In fact, Aditya, stay with us. Sanjeev Srivastav, International Affairs expert, is also with us now on the broadcast. Sanjeev, this is now irrefutable proof and evidence. But the big question is, will the world wake up and take notice?
Well, Uday, as far as the response of the international community towards terrorism is concerned, it is still not the way it should be responded to. And there are various self-centric approaches adopted by particularly the Western countries, those who are very much capable of dealing with this menace of terrorism in an efficient way. They do not still doing enough to deal with this menace. And there has to be, a joint collective resolve to fight against this. But what we have seen there is that whenever such attacks happen on the soil of United States of America, Western countries, they take a very proactive step and they go to any corners of the world to hunt down those terrorists. But when it comes to the cases of the terror incident in other countries, the kind of a collaboration and kind of approach which should be shown is not still being shown. and that is what makes our resolve, the international community's resolve to fight against terrorism weak. And I think it's high time then the United States of America, Western countries, and other countries which are victim of terrorism, they must adopt a joint collaborative, united approach, a determined approach to deal with this menace. And I'm very confident that if counter-terrorism and intelligence sharing cooperation among the countries of the world becomes greater and becomes much deeper, and the joint strategies are adopted, then I think no terrorist in the world can have any kind of hideout, and they will be hunted down anywhere, wherever they are operating. So I think terrorists, they exploit various weaknesses which international community shows with regard to dealing with terrorism, and that is why they are able to survive and they are able to carry out such attacks. So I think, again, I would say that when this world is facing this menace of terrorism, yet again, be it Israel, be it India or other countries, it's high time we become more and more united, and joint strategies must be adopted with regard to, carry out anti-terror operations, strikes, and such hideouts must be, dealt with unitedly. And I would like to again mention that the Trump administration, it has a very combative, very tough anti-terror policy. And the United States of America, Trump administration has been conducting regular level of counter-terrorism operation with this zero tolerance approach and never forget, never forgive approach. I think it's high time United States of America and Indian collaboration and should be enhanced in such a level that we form a joint strategy to carry out such operations. And imagine, Uday, if US and India, like countries, if they come up with a joint strategy, joint operation, no terrorists in the world, whether it is they are wanted in India or in the United States of America, can have any kind of hideout, and they will be hunted down and they will be brought to justice. So I think it's high time we realize this, and international community must enhance its cooperation and collaboration with regard to fighting against this menace of terrorism.